What's going on? I think the mic is on. I am just getting started. I'm a little... I don't want to say I'm late, but I wanted to start like 15 minutes ago, but then I had to take care of something, so I'm just... I'm setting up everything right now. How are you doing? Give it a little bit, let people come in here. Ian, how you doing, man? What's going on? I am just getting started up here. I don't want to say I'm late because I did plan to come on at this time, but what happened was one of my cameras was not working. I had to reset something. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just setting up the video for Avenue O, and I'm also setting up the map. So give me 1 second. I think the map is set up. Yep, we are almost ready. We're almost ready. Right now, you guys are looking at a live sunset. That is out my window. That is a live sunset outside my window. We had a very nice day today. It was an awesome day today. I hope everyone had an awesome day too. I just had some dinner, so I'm just getting everything ready. I should put my headset on because I'm not going to be able to hear. I'm not going to be able to hear the mixer out without it. So we got Lone Droneman in here. We have Ian. We have about 8 people in here. Welcome in. Today we did a walk on. I did a couple of walks. I filmed a couple of walks. I was on. You know what? Let me see if I could get this going here. 1 second here. There we go. So this was the route. Well, what I did today was I did. If you're looking at the map, I did Kings Highway. I was along Kings Highway today. And then after filming, I came back pretty much in the direction I started along Avenue O, which is in Midwood. It's like a residential area, but there is an area that's like commercial. And then eventually we hit Bay Parkway and ended up on 86th Street. So it comes out to about 2.7 miles. So I'm going to get it going. But what we'll do is we'll keep the window cam on for just a few more seconds. Let people come in. What is it? What is today? Today is the 25th, right? So we got like a week left of March. Starting to feel like spring. Getting into the summer. Well, now summer's a little too far off to be talking about that right now. Nice little sunset. I was thinking maybe do like a just a window cam tonight with air traffic, some air traffic control. But then I was like, no, I'll throw on some of the raw footage I did of Avenue O. There's like there's some nice houses along the way and stuff. Nice little neighborhood. Yeah, it's weather is starting to finally turn around. We had a lot of rain last night. It was actually all day yesterday, but we had good heavy dose of rain towards the end, and then it got really foggy at night. And then today has just been, the weather's been great, so we should be good for a while. So let me get the map on one more time. This is where we're walking. This is almost 3 miles straight path. There is an area of Avenue Y that gets broken up here between Day Hill Road and West, I said West, but it's just 65th Street over by West 3rd. So we'll have to take a little detour there. It's kind of strange. This is where like 24th Avenue and 23rd Avenue just come out of nowhere in this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over. And okay, so this is the video screen. So let me just get this going here. 1 second. And I think if I do this, we'll start. Here we go. Should have sounds. I can hear sound. Looks like everything is working now. Good. All right. 60 degrees. It was windy today, though. So it was like a really windy day. But a lot of these old, classic-looking homes along the way. This one with like a big RB. It actually has an RB on it, like Arby's. Nothing crazy happens on this walk. There is some traffic, there's some people walking by and stuff like that, but nothing to write home about. The Kings Highway one I did before this, which I'll put on the channel in a couple of days, was very noisy. There's a lot of traffic, a lot of people. This house is condemned, this house right here. Probably be a really nice house if they fix it up. You can actually see through the roof there if you look really close. So the roof is exposed. It's probably going to get knocked down. I mean, if it's in that state, no one's going to try to fix that. Not in New York, at least. Not in Brooklyn. If a house is that bad off, they're going to knock it down and probably put like a condo unit or something. Crazy. I'm still kind of setting up. There's something I wanted to bring up here eventually later on, so I'm just setting it up. Fordham Road is like that in the Bronx, yeah. All right, looks like we're moving. Looks like I'm done doing what I need to do, so everything is set up. I guess I could just relax now. Ian, what part of the Bronx are you in? Yeah, it was nice out. Very nice out today. Just windy. There's another one of these strange. This is a strange looking house. It looked like it had some kind of extensions on the sides of the roof or something. And I am doing this around, I want to say it was around 11 o'clock in the morning. Pelham Bay. Where are you now? Where are you located these days? Are you the one that's in Queens now or something? I remember there was somebody else that was like somewhere and they moved to Queens or something like that. Oh, PA. Oh, you're in PA. What part of PA? This right here is Ocean Avenue we are crossing. This guy that this guy in front of us right now, he's going to be in front of us for a while. At some point, I finally decided to cross the street and get away from him. Northeast? All right. Looks like these guys were moving some stuff. Graffitied up truck. It's like one of those old railroad style houses, like train now. They used to call them railroad homes. You just go all the way back like a box. Nice fan window on the top. They keep the homes really nice in this neighborhood. Street cleaner. What part of Brooklyn is this? This is considered Midwood, Brooklyn. Midwood. It is... This is an abandoned, like, little scooter car. Just laying here with the door open. I guess somebody decided to throw it out or leave it there or something. I was saying Midwood, Brooklyn. I'll bring the map up in a second just so you guys can see. Let me just... Oh, we're waiting for traffic, so I'll do it now. So if you look at the map here, it's this area here. Pretty much. And then we're going to be moving into, like, I guess you could say Gravesend, Bensonhurst section. Now, I edited this video and I put it together and I didn't even scrub it or check it. So this is... I'm actually seeing it for the first time, just like all of you, like, as far as the video. So if there's any mistakes or anything like that, I mean, we're gonna see it together, but everything looks fine right now. I'd like to come back through here when it's the summer, because I think it'll look really nice with all the trees filled out. This right here, we're walking under one of the train overpasses for the B and the Q train. On the next block is well, a couple blocks down from me on my left side would be the Kings Highway train station. And I've always wondered about this fence. There's like fences on the sidewalk over by the overpass. I wonder if that has something to do with like property ownership with the MTA. Yeah, that's a loud crow. There's gonna be a lot of birds in this one. So we're gonna have crows and we're gonna have parrots. So we do have like a little bit of a parrot community. See them later on. The parrots, they're little, I guess the pudge parrots, they do pretty good. They actually survive pretty well all year here in Brooklyn. So. Still walking behind this guy. You can hear the wind. It's pretty windy in this one. This is where I finally decide to cross because, like, I want to just get past, I guess, past him or whatever. I feel weird. It feels like I'm, like, stalking somebody or following somebody with a camera. So I decided to cross the street. And it looks like the sun has gone down out my window. That's what it looks like. So it's going to start getting dark in my living room. This is our first church we'll be passing. This is St. Brennan's. It's a very nice church. This is Saint Brendan. Brendan. Good evening, Rose. Good evening, Emmanuel. Hello to everybody that is watching that has not jumped into the chat. I appreciate everybody being in, whether you're chatting or not. Manuel says, hello, Stride. Thank you for sharing the area. I was born and grew up in the 60s and the first two of the 70s. It gave me nostalgic to make me remember recently. I wrote to you on Instagram. Yeah, I don't really answer my Instagram messages. Corey, what's going on? Good evening. Coney Island Avenue. See that? There's like a traffic jam as usual on Coney Island Avenue. So for those that might have joined a little late, we are on Avenue O in the Midwood section. We started on Bedford Avenue. We're gonna eventually hit Bay Parkway once Avenue O ends. This is the route we are taking. That is where we started. And I believe we just crossed Coney Island Avenue, which is over here. Eventually, we're going to have to make a detour because... Oh yeah, this, before I talk about the detour, I noticed this. Looks like you had 3 ambulances with a stretcher outside this building and a fire truck, so that's usually not good. Two ambulances, a fire truck, and then you got a FDNY ambulance right there. Dyker Heights Junior High School, yeah, that's where I went. I went to Dyker Heights Junior High School. I used to play also for the 68 Precinct. The baseball diamonds are still there, but they put a soccer field there. So now it's more like one, if I count, I'm thinking about it in my head here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ball fields. They got rid of one ball field and they made a soccer field over there. And actually just recently, like as of 2 weeks ago, they fenced off a big section of the park. Because I think they're gonna redo something over there. I was saying earlier that we are eventually gonna have to hit a detour. This area right here. Wow, that was loud. This area right here, we'll have to hit Day Hill Road. We'll have to cut up 63rd, come around 24th and then get back on to Avenue O in that area. I was saying this earlier, this is my first time looking at this video after I put it together. So, I did everything last minute today. I wasn't gonna come on tonight, but I had time to do it, so I was like, yeah, why not? This right here is Ocean Parkway. Very big road that runs through Brooklyn from pretty much from the beach all the way down Coney Island, all the way up to like Prospect Park. Eventually it turns into the Prospect Expressway. These scooters keep getting bigger and bigger, man. I'm seriously thinking of getting a scooter. Like, I never thought I would ever be interested in getting a scooter, but I keep seeing like how big these scooters keep getting. They're like turning into tanks. These nice big green private hedges. I should have got a better look at that house. Looked like a nice house. Do I ever get tired? From walking? Yeah, I mean, this one right here, this walk right here, I mean, I had just done King's Highway, and then I'm doing this. My feet, you know, sometimes my feet will hurt a little bit, but I got a lot of energy, so I do get tired, but it's, I don't know, it's just like, it's not like the type of tired where I was like, oh, I gotta quit, you know. It's more about, with me, it's more about like, I guess logistics, you know, like eventually I've got to eat, you know, like I got to stop somewhere and eat or maybe go to the bathroom, but I could keep walking all day. I'm stopping because I'm checking out that house on the corner because I notice it has like a lot of big windows, so I'm trying to decide if I want to go over and take a look at it. What's up, Nate? How you doing? I have so many different brands of hiking shoes. I actually do better with walking shoes. Hiking shoes are a little different. I find that sometimes hiking shoes could be a little heavier, but it depends on if they're trail shoes, if they're rugged hiking shoes. The ones I'm wearing today, I'm wearing like New Balance hiking shoes, which are pretty good. I actually just ordered another brand that I'm trying out. I ordered them on Amazon. I want to see what those are like. I gotta lower the audio in my ear set because, man, some of the traffic is really loud in my head. How you doing, Nate? How's everything going on? I like this house. It has the old cloth awnings. If you look at the windows, you can see the old, all those awnings are like cloth awnings. Going well, that's great. Yeah, everything's doing good on this end. That right there. It's so loud in my headset, but that was the this is McDonald Avenue. That was the Express F train. A lot of the trains run express in this area because the local tracks are doing construction. Thinking of doing my own walk-in vid here in LA? Bro, you would probably get a lot of views. doing some walking around in LA. I would do it. I would definitely do it. Some lovely homes in the area. Yeah, this is a nice area. It gets a little, so now it gets a little bit like apartment building-ish. And then it gets commercial. So this is the first detour we have to take. So Avenue O gets broken. It gets cut off here at Day Hill Road. I'm going to throw the map up here to show everybody what I'm talking about in a second. You can hear the parrots. So now we're going to start hearing parrots. We have a little parrot community in this area. You'll even get to see them maybe fly over the camera. So we have to take a little detour to get to the other side of Avenue O. This is the right here. This right here is the path. So we're going to go up Day Hill Road, up 63rd, then 24th, and then back on Avenue O right here. So that's what we're doing right now. That train store, there's a big train store that's still on McDonald Avenue. I used to go to, so when I was a kid, the big train store that me and my father used to go to was Stanley's on 4th Avenue in Sunset Park. It was like, I want to say it was in the 40s. I can't remember exactly where it was. It might have been 4th Avenue and 43rd Street. Or 4th Avenue, 42nd Street. But it was a big train store. I still have all of my father's trains. Yeah, Train World. When you're not walking for your videos, how many miles do you walk in a day, or do you take it easy? That's a good question. So I pretty much walk every day. So even though I don't have a lot of walking on camera all the time, I do a lot of walking. Sometimes I could walk anywhere between 8 and 12 or 13 or 14 miles a day. I do take it easy. Sometimes I'll take a day off here and there. Now that the summer is coming, I will, you know, the spring and the summer, I'm always out doing walks and stuff. But I'll show you something like today. This walk right here is actually a second walk that I'm filming. So originally I came down and I did Kings Highway. I filmed that one. And I'll throw that up on YouTube in a couple of days. You guys will see that. But then after I stopped filming that, I decided then to film my walk back to 86th Street. And that's what we're doing right now. So today I probably did about 10 miles. Between walking to the location, walking the route, then walking back, and then walking back home. I would say, as far as taking it easy a lot, I would say probably the winter time is when I really I usually take breaks. You know, usually November I'll take a break during the holidays. And then in the summer I usually take a break around August. Yeah, I do a lot of walking, man. That's all I know how to do. You can hear the parrots again. There's the parrots. You can see them flying around. So we're now getting back onto Avenue O. This is the... Again, this is the little... We pretty much had to do this, and then now we're back on Avenue O in this area right here. Hey Nate, if you're still in the chat room, I got a question for you. Do you remember or did you know of Monty's on Avenue O? We're gonna actually pass the location in a minute where it used to be, and I'll talk about it. So back in the day, there used to be this incredible deli called Monty's, and they had the best roast beef sandwiches. The line, so where we're looking like right now, the line, so there's like a new build in here, but the line would come all the way down the block just to get in to get that roast beef sandwich. This is where it used to be. And I actually have an old picture of it. So this right here used to be an empty lot. And then Monty's was the middle store with the where the laundromat is, the red awning. But this is what Monty's used to look like. So I'm stopping here to take a look. But this is so that used to be Monty's right there. And the line would go down the block, all the way down, just to get that roast beef sandwich. I gotta turn my light on because it is dark in here now.
So then don't mention it. Hello?
Oh, I just saw your. I'm just seeing your message now, Ian. It has a set of G-scale trains that we've had since Christmas. Yeah, I got a ton of trains. That guy almost hit me and the other guy. Hi, Carol. Yeah, we are in Midwood. We're getting into the grittier area though now. We're getting close to the end of Avenue O. And we're getting close to Bay Parkway. We are in this area now. We've walked this whole route here around, and now we're in this area right here. Got a little food market going on over here. The Bay Parkway train station for the N line. So this is the Avenue O side. So if you go downstairs and you go onto the platform and you walk to the other ends, which is the next block, you'll get to Bay Parkway. Bay Parkway is kind of cutting in front of us right now. So we're walking in this direction here, and it's kind of cutting this. So there's the train station right there. So this was the train station. You could see the platform goes up to Bay Parkway, and we're gonna be going through. Yeah. Could hear the parrots again. There's a lot of parrots in this neighborhood. On that block, they got all those little homes, those like railroad style homes. We will end it right at the Bay Parkway train station for the D train. That's where we're going to end it, on 86th Street. We're about to stop on... So Avenue O is about to end. And we're about to now transition to the Bay Parkway in a couple of blocks. If you think about it, we've passed 4 major train lines in this walk. We passed by the B and the Q. We passed the F on McDonald Avenue. We just passed the N line, the Bay Parkway station, and we're gonna end it in right at the Bay Parkway station for the D line. And this is it. We're getting off of Avenue O now. We're going across to Bay Parkway. So now the rest of the walk is gonna be along Bay Parkway till we hit 86th Street. So we are on Avenue O now. I mean, not Avenue O. Listen to me. I don't even know what I'm talking about. We are on Bay Parkway now. So now we have finished this leg right here, this long leg we just did. And now we're walking from here to 86th Street, this area right here. I used to take the F train a lot when I was a kid, because when I moved into this neighborhood that I'm in now, I was still going to school before I transferred to Dyker Heights Junior High School. I was still going to school to Montauk Junior High School, which is on like 14th Avenue and like 42nd, 43rd Street. Excuse me, no, 16th Avenue, 42nd and 43rd Street. And I used to take at the time, I used to take the B train to Coney Island and then get on the F train and then go all the way to Ditmas Avenue and walk across the park over there. There's like a park over there. And go to Montauk Junior High School. I've pretty much rode every train in the New York City subway system. I think the only actually that's not correct. I think there's the one train that I haven't really got on ever in my life is the L train. I've never taken that train. You could take the J, the Z, and the M. It'll run through parts of that area anyway, but... This is outside my window right now live. It's really nice sky tonight. Very nice sky. See the LaGuardia, those planes up there, those are the planes that are going to be landing in LaGuardia in a few minutes. This is Bay Ridge Parkway. This is where Bay Ridge Parkway ends. We just did a walk on Bay Ridge Parkway a couple of weeks ago. Maybe a week ago. I think maybe it was last week. There's a lot of intersections over here. You have... We're on Bay Parkway. You have Bay Ridge Parkway that ends. You have Stillwell Avenue that begins. You also have Avenue P that begins across the street. So I'm looking at the chat room. We have Lone Droneman, Ian, Manuel, Rose, Corey, Nate, and there was somebody else, Carol. We have a few people, and then we have other people watching. We got about 26 people watching right now. Welcome in. We are just about getting to the ends of this one. This is 77th Street, so we're going to 86th Street now. We are getting, so we give you guys the map again, just to show you where we've walked from. Right here, all the way down Avenue O, and now we're going to end it on 86th Street. And interestingly enough, so kind of give you guys a little behind the scenes, I started the day right over here at Kings Highway. So I'm going to turn the camera in a second. But before this walk, I did Kings Highway from here. And I walked all the way down Kings Highway. And that's going to be That'll be in a couple days. I'll throw that on YouTube. But this is where I started about an hour and a half earlier, and now I've pretty much made my way back like a racetrack. Hello, Bob. Welcome in. Thanks for coming in. And it was a very nice day today. It, like, you see this woman right here, she's like dressed like it's winter, but you don't. I'm in a very light jacket. I'm in a very light spring jacket. It's actually opened up. It was 60 degrees today. It was windy though, so I could see where some of the older people might have got a chill from the winds or everything. But it was very warm out. Well, not very warm, but it was very nice out. We're like in that time of the year where people are not, they're undecided on whether they should put their winter coats away. I already put my winter coat away, so hopefully I don't have to pull it back out. Yeah, I've come to like all of the seasons. I used to be a big summer person. I find that as I've gotten older, I'm not as big of a fan of the summer, I guess. I mean, the thing is, at a certain point, so here's the thing. At a certain point, the winter and the summer get on my nerves, you know? I think by February, I've had enough of the winter, and I think pretty much by August, I've had enough of the summer. But I always like the change of the season, like from summer into fall and then into winter. But then, yeah, at a certain point, I can't stand the winter. Are there a lot of people who love the sky in the big city? I don't understand what you mean by that. Fall is nice, yeah. I'll be honest with you, fall has become... I'd have to say spring and fall has become my favorite seasons. It used to be spring and summer. Now it's spring and fall. We did not, you know what's crazy? Fall is the new summer, global warming. What's up, Watson? Welcome in. We did, I was, you know, it was so funny. I was just about to say something that totally. So we had, wait, let me think about this. parts of Louisiana on the Gulf Coast and Florida on the Gulf Coast had more snow than New York. Think about that. So parts of Louisiana on the Gulf Coast and parts of Florida on the Gulf Coast had 14 inches of snow in like one storm. And it's kind of crazy because, like, I think all together in New York, I think we only got something like 6 or 7 inches of snow all winter. Talked with a woman, 80-year-old, born in New York City. She still lives there. She doesn't like computers. She likes the sky and the architecture. Okay. Yeah. Well, the most computers that I do, I mean, I worked in the technology industry for over 20 years. So I had no choice to be around computers, but I find these days, you know, I use the computer mostly to do my video or my photography and stuff like that. All right, so this is 86th Street. This is the Bay Parkway train station for the D line. So this is where I ended it, right here. Actually, I think I stopped and just filmed some people walking by for a little while. But I'll bring up the map in a second to show where we walked. Lots of brick built there in Brooklyn. Oh, yeah. Yeah, lots of brick. Lots of everything. There's so many different... there's so many different styles of architecture in New York. I mean, you can't ever get tired of it. Welcome in, El Greco. Yeah, it does look like the Ocean Parkway state. It does, right? And they just redid this station like a few years ago. Like, they put all new windows and everything. It doesn't look like they did much, but they did. When you go inside, you could tell they definitely did a lot of work. So that was it. That was so this was the walk. We just did this whole 2.7 miles from Bedford Avenue all the way down to Day Hill Road. We had to get around the break, and then we continued on, and then we just finished up walking Bay Parkway from about, you could either say from a West 11th Street or from 71st Street all the way down to 86th Street. That was our walk. That was our walk. And then right now, this is live. This is outside the window. As we can see, those lights are commercial jets that are landing at LaGuardia Airport. So I hope everybody enjoyed that walk. I'll stay on for a little while and chat. I think I should fix this camera, though. This camera looks a little... Let me see what's going on here. I'm going to switch over to that. Let me bring up the properties because let's see, exposure. Let's see what happens when I do this. That's a little bit better there. Or maybe if I bring the gain, no, the gain is already up. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. There we go. This is looking west. The sun has gone down. You can kind of see brought the exposure up so you could kind of see the city lights bouncing up off the clouds. You could see a little blue sky there. Yes, I always have a view of the Verrazano. And I'll tell you, this window has some really great views of the storms coming in and stuff. I think I bring up some air traffic control. 1 second here. Let me see. Flight tracker. Let me bring up flight tracker. So a lot of these planes you see coming over my house. Let me see if I could do this here. Copy. And I'll be able to pull up some live data of these planes coming over. So right now we're looking at so you can see these planes right here. So this is LaGuardia. So all these planes, like this plane right here, is actually right there. You can see it on the camera right now. See that bright light approaching us? That is this guy right here. Romeo Papa Alpha 4364. And they are all going to land in LaGuardia in like just a few minutes. So pretty much when they pass over where I live, they will end up on the runway pretty quickly. Any favorite movies made in my city? I will tell you the one movie because I lived through the time. I'm 51 years old, so I lived through the 70s and 80s. And I'd have to say one of my favorite New York City movies is Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro. That is a really, if you want to see what New York City looked like when I was a kid, that's a movie you gotta watch. Taxi Driver. There's a lot of movies. There's a lot of movies based out of New York, though. I couldn't I couldn't name them all. Saturday Night Fever. Well, Saturday Night Fever, he's walking down 86th Street in the beginning there. I want to see if I can get let's see here. You talking to me? Let me see if I can get I'm going to remove this. I'm going to see if I could put the let's see here. Display capture. I think it's a control. No, it's not. I found it. I found it. 1 second. I'm working on something here. Let's see if I can do this. I'm trying to bring up the air map up on this screen so we could like look at it. Okay, I'm gonna put it right over there. There we go. So now I could kind of show you guys the inlay. You can see this plane right here. You see that blinking light out there? That's this guy here. um We were talking about the French Connection when I did my when I did my walk on Utrecht Avenue. I stopped by a couple of the areas where the French Connection was filmed and stuff. Look at this guy. What the hell is this? What is that? This guy is at 33,000 feet. So he's like way up there. Oh, we got a little small plane over here. But yeah, you could see some more planes coming in. See this guy right here coming in. Early Scorsese films on the streets of NYC 60s and 70s, yeah. Yeah, there's tons of movies. I got tons of like old. I found this. Oh, I'll show you guys this. This is pretty cool. Hold on. I know you guys like when I show some my photography and stuff, but I also have my father's photography from like the 70s and 80s, and I found this the other day, which I thought was pretty cool. So let me get this. 1 second here. Well, first I got to do this. I got to turn this off. And then show you guys this right here. Look at this bad boy. This is on 8th Avenue in 8th Avenue in Sunset Park. Let me move that out of the way. Hold on. This photo was taken in 1980 or 81. This is off of the corner. This is 8th Avenue and 42nd Street in Sunset Park. I'm going to see if I got some other good ones. Some old photos from like the 1970s. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I got tons of car pictures. That's the one thing, like when you look at the car pictures from like the 1970s and the 1980s, all the cars are pretty much classics. I'm looking for some more, maybe some more shots. I have a lot of it's one thing. I have a lot of World Trade Center shots. So here you go. Here's a World Trade Center. This is 1976 World Trade Center. It's a slide shot. And you could see, if you look up at the top, you could see like this is before they had the communication tower from the Empire State Building. It just had the Warning Tower up there. Cars were so different then. Now they all look like SUVs. Well, pretty much everything's an SUV now. I remember when SUVs, like the first SUV, well, I don't know if you want to call it an SUV, but like the first, like, I guess, SUV like car or vehicle was the I started seeing a lot of people were owning it, was the Jeep Cherokee, the red one. I don't know if you remember back in the 90s, everyone was getting like the red cheap Cherokee. I'm looking for more old pictures. I got so many old pictures I got to go through. Oh, this is good. Ian, if you're still in here, perfect. Ian's going to like this. Let me see. 1 second here. Let me See if I can get this going here. There you go. There you go. This is my father took this shot. Wait, here it is. This is a long exposure shot of the train going around the Christmas tree. See? So my father had a little nativity underneath the tree. That's a train going around the track. Yeah, it was a big thing. Christmas trains around the tree. Back in the days. This is a picture of. This right here is a picture of the Statue of Liberty from 6th Avenue, one of the roofs on 6th Avenue in Sunset Park. This is during the bicentennial. You could see some of the Navy ships out there with their up and overs. That's 1976. I gotta make sure not to save that like that. Let me do undo move. Let's see. Do we have anything? I got so many like baby photos and stuff. If you guys are wondering what my father looked like, he was a photographer. This is him on the Brooklyn Promenade. This is in Brooklyn Heights. That's a picture of my father right there. Gangster with the leather jacket. Is there any other photos? These are some old photos of the Verrazano Bridge. Going way back. That's the old New York City skyline right there. Doesn't look like that today. I got tons of pictures of the bicentennial. I was 2 years old during the bicentennial. I remember bits and pieces of it. See if I could find any well, that picture I just showed you, well, yeah, this right here, this picture right here was taken in 1976, and so was the other one earlier. Here's a shot of one of the ships coming in from the bike path. This is a bike path shot. It's a Navy ship. Staten Island looks so different back in the 70s. I mean, when you look at Staten Island now, there's all types of buildings and homes over here now in this area. I think I have another one. As a matter of fact, this one right here shows, you can see this is Staten Island here. You can see, like, if you look at Staten Island today, like, there's so much development in this area now. Like, back then, it was just all trees and stuff. This is, I don't know what's going on here. Let's see what this is. Looks like a protest or something. This is 1976 also. 77. Some old cars. Oh, this is a cool one. I always love this one right here. This is, if you guys have ever been on the bike path in over here in Brooklyn, there's that "Welcome to Brooklyn" sign. Bro, Staten Island was all woods in the 70s. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I just did the live stream the other day about when I was on Woodrow Road, and I was talking about this is a nice photo right here. I was talking about how my sister's neighborhood just 15, 20 years ago was all woods. It was all woods all the way down to Arthur Kill. So, like, just it's that recent that a lot of the development has happened. I was saying earlier, though, if you're ever on the bike path and you see that "Welcome to Brooklyn" sign, well, that sign has always been there. It's obviously been in different sizes and shapes and said different things, but this is... There you go. Look at this. All graffitied up and everything, man. Look at that. And look at the guardrails. It's the old wooden guardrails along the bike path. That's like crazy. You don't see that anymore. Welcome to Brooklyn, fourth largest city in America. Which, well, you know what? Let's Google. Hold on. Let's find out. Let me see if I can find out Brooklyn largest city ranking in United States. Let's see if it's now the third largest. So it's moved up one since this sign. Back in the day, like, I also just noticed that they don't put the mayor on the sign. They just put the borough president. Let's see. Let's look this up. Let's see. I'm going to put this guy. I want to see if this has like an exact. I want to see what time period this is. Brooklyn borough president. So this is, so yeah, so this continues the whole 1976 thing, because he was the borough president from 1970 to 1976. So yeah, this photo would probably be 1976, because pretty much most of the photos that I have that I've scanned in are from 1976. So yeah. Oh, I did like a funny little, hold on. I think I have it somewhere. I did like a funny little spoof on that sign. I actually did some photoshopping. If I could find it, or I'll show it the next time. Let me close out of all of these. I gotta close out of all of these photos. I got so many photos of this sign over the years. I have one with Giuliani where it says Giuliani. I got one of my own. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. 1 second here. I'm pretty sure I have one with that I took that says Giuliani on it. I am very sure of that. Just got to find it. Here it is. I got it. This is it right here, baby. So this is, so we're looking at right now. So you see that's 1976 and this is 2001. You can see how different the sign looks. You could see the metal guardrails. And you can see it says Giuliani and Howard Golden. So like on the updated signs, they put the mayor and the borough president on there. And this was taken back in 2001. It's kind of funny looking at that, right? Like side by side. Let me see if we could do that. Hold on. Let me see if we can do that. Some guy laying on some like homeless guy laying there. These are pictures of my old apartment. Let me see if I can get that back up. 1 second. Here we go. 1 second. We'll put it next to it. So there's a difference right there. They got rid of, now interestingly enough, they got rid of all this just this last year. They put a new road over here. This is all gone. This whole berm is gone. It's all gone. They built an extra road and everything, and they changed the whole configuration right over here on Bay Street where you get on, and they put like a roundabout, and It's a big mess over here. So that is what it looks like right now outside my window. I'll see if I can find any more good photos. Let's see. Hold on here. I have so many family photos, it's not even funny. Like, there's just so many of them. Yeah, there goes another black and white of the city skyline. This is also 1976. This whole area it doesn't even look like this anymore. They got rid of a lot of this stuff. This is all the park now, you know, like if you go down to like Brooklyn Heights, you know, they have that whole like wooded area. That's what's down there now. This is all gone, a lot of this stuff. The old rail yard barges used to take the boats would come in, trains would go onto the barge, and then they would take the train cars to the other side. They still have that up on like over by the Brooklyn Army Terminal. Yeah, Brooklyn Navy Yard. All right, I got a lot of stuff. I got some nice night shots of the Brooklyn Bridge here. Here we go. 1 second here. If I could get it up. These are also from 1976. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. This is a guy. This is at Fort Hamilton. This is at the Fort Hamilton Parkway train station in the 1970s. And there's a guy. There's a train worker fixing a signal over here. Look at that. That's pretty cool. This is those old train signals. Look how big the boxes were. They're so much smaller now. Like, if you ever look at the train signals today, they're way smaller than this. And this is at Fort Hamilton Parkway Station. They just tore this down last year. This big building that used to be over there on like 43rd Street. Hey, no problem, Bob. I know people like when I share my photos. It's funny. Like I have a ton of my own photography, but people love to see the old photography that my father used to take. Lisa, UK girl, Major Minis replicated that Welcome to Brooklyn sign. Yeah, it's a good shot, man. My father took it. It's got all the graffiti on it. So this is a cool shot. I didn't even know he had this. I'm looking at the thumbnail. Look at this. That's 18th Avenue. So this is from 71st Street. This is the 71st Street train station. Look at that. So that's 71st. That's 79th Street right there. And that is 18th Avenue. That's the 18th Avenue train station. Look at that. It's the old B train. I remember riding these trains as a kid, man. Look at that. That is a cool shot. I gotta like restore this. This is a shot I gotta work on. You got one train out there you could see. That is such a cool shot. And there's still a lot of negatives and slides that I have to scan of my father's, like just a ton. So who knows like what he has. Like I got a whole book, like it's a big binder of just negatives, like black and white and color negatives. And then there's another binder book of color slides. And I've only maybe scanned about 5% of the stuff that he has. And then there's like I have an actual bag of film that still has to be developed. And recently I had sent like 3 or 4 rolls to like this place that does old film, and it actually came out. It came out pretty good. I mean, you could tell there was a little bit of age damage to the film and the slides, but for the most part, the pictures came out great. So there's like so much. What's this? This might be 8th Avenue. I'd have to, so 47th Street, this might be 8th Avenue, Sunset Park. Do I have any Caesars Bay pictures? Man, I wish I had pictures of Caesars Bay when I worked there. I worked in Caesars Bay as a teenager, man. If I would have had, if I would have had those pictures, man, it would have been the best. But you know, as a teenager, you don't think about walking around with a camera and taking pictures of everything. But I do have some pictures laying around from Caesars Bay, like recent ones. I got recent ones and stuff. Let me see if I could find a recent one here. Let me see. 1 second here. This is a nice photo, though. This is I'm pretty sure this is 8th Avenue. It's 47th Street. It says 47th Street right there. Those old city street lights. I miss those lights. I don't know why they ever got rid of the lights. The ones that we have now, these LEDs, I hate them. They have no character, man. These were always the best lights. This is an old picture of Caesars Bay Toys R Us. This is back with the old. This is the old sanitation processing plant. You could see out in the distance. You can see the old Astro Tower out there in Coney Island. Toys R Us and Kids R Us, Best Buy. This is when Best Buy had just opened down there. This is many years ago. We used to be able to fish over here. This is before Kmart came in. This is like literally right after Caesars Bay had shut down. Before Kmart came in. Best Buy had moved into the... If you ever go to Best Buy at Bay Parkway, that used to be like a Wallbounds or whatever. I can't even pronounce that name, but it used to be a shop and supermarket. So this is going way back, this photo. And I actually have pictures. So you can see this area, right? You can see people fishing there. You can see some people over there fishing. You used to be able to fish behind here. This is actually a picture right here of a guy. This is what it looked like when you were back there. This is a photo right here behind Caesars Bay. People used to sit and fish back there, but they closed it off. Once I want to say Kohl's. When Kohl's bought it, when Kohl's came and took over, they shut it down. They didn't want anybody down there because they were afraid people were gonna rob, like break into the back and rob, which did happen. So they had like a good reason to shut it down. So like this is another photo here behind Caesars Bay. Like you could see how easy it was to get that. Everything was opened up so people could like break in and stuff like that. And this is going back many years. Thanks for sharing your photos and memories. Thank you, Rose. Yeah, I appreciate I always like sharing photos. People like to see photos. They like to see like old stuff. But yeah, this is and I have more recent stuff of Caesars Bay. I got some old photos of the bike path from like the 1980s when the bike path used to have that one bike path. And let me see if I can find it. Nah, I don't have any pictures of the old Caesars Bay, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I do not have any of those pictures. Let me see if I have some old pictures of the bike path. Like really old pictures. Oh yeah, I do. Look at that. I have them. Here they are. All right. So this is when everyone would we used to all fly the kites down there, but you can kind of see the old bike path the way it used to be. Here you go. So this is the way the bike path used to be back in the day. I mean, now you have like a path that kind of goes this way, but they had put that path there years ago. But this is the way it used to be back in. I took this picture in 88 with like a disposable camera. But you could see the old bike path. And you know what's interesting? You could see the old lines that they never repaint, but you could see where the people walk on this side. So, funny story. I got into an argument with somebody last year, and you know, people will tend to walk along the fence, you know, in two directions. But what they don't understand is a lot of us, you know, we've been living here our whole lives. So, you know, this is where we would walk. You could see the solid white line, and the bike path is in the middle here. So a lot of us that have been living here for a long time, we still walk that way, you know. And they never really repainted the lines or anything like that. So here's another picture. So this is before all the trees that they planted. This is an old one. Look at that. This is from 1980. This is 88 also. That's what it used to look like down there. There was no trees. It was just all grass back in the day. And here's another one. You could see again the old solid lines on the bike path, keeping everybody separated. So this is a picture of, like, if I had it zoomed in, you'd be able to see it says Caesars Bay out there. This is when Caesars Bay was still open. So can't tell right there, but you can kind of see it out there. So in this picture, when I took this picture, Caesars Bay was still open. I took this, and again, this is 1988. But you see how many, that's another thing. You see how many people used to come down here and fly kites. That's one of the things I miss. You know, like nobody flies kites around here. Nobody does anything anymore down here. It does get crowded in the summer still on the bike path over here. So I'm pretty much right over here. This is where pretty much where my area where I get onto the bike path right here. Bay Street. That's my window. That's outside. All right, I'm going to close down all of these windows. I have so many windows open up. I got to close down. Thank God I got like 3 screens going on here. All right, it is 8:30. I am going to be getting off. So we are looking outside my window. We could see, oh wait, hold on. Let's see who that is. I see a helicopter out there or something. Ah, that is see that right there? I don't know who that is. Looks like look at this. Eurocopter UH-72 Alpha Lakota. That's what we just see fly over the bridge. All right, everyone. I want to thank everybody for coming in and hanging out. I'm going to get off. It is 8:35 Eastern time here in New York, in the United States. And I'm going to just get off and make something to eat, I guess. I already ate dinner, but I'm a little hungry, so maybe I'll grab a snack or something. I don't know. But for everybody that came in, let's go down the line. I could go down the line here in my chat room. Lone Droneman, Ian. Manuel was in here. Rose, Corey, Nate, Carol, Corey, Bob, Watson, El Greco. Let's see who else. Lisa, UK girl. I think I said Rose already. Yeah. Where did all the drones go? They have disappeared. They have disappeared. Did you guys see my UFO video? Do you guys want to see my UFO video over the bridge? That was like a few weeks ago on a live. It happens live. Hold on, I'll pull it up. I'll put it on this screen. Hold on, you guys go watch it. 1 second here. 1 second. Go to my channel here. So let me get this over. 1 second here. One second. So I'll show this before I leave. This was so 1 second. Let me turn off my camera here. And then let me turn up the desktop audio so you guys could hear this. So I will enlarge this. So this happens on a live stream. So I'm just gonna play it. So here we go. So basically I'm looking in this direction here, and over here something starts to appear, and then it just eventually disappears. Watch, you guys will see. We were watching the planes, and we were listening to air traffic control when this went down. This was on March 2nd. It was earlier in the month. And I write, it should be showing up in the map here, but there's nothing there. You see, like, there's nothing up there. And there it is right there. and it gets really bright, and then I start talking about it now. So
that's interesting. There's an aircraft in the view over the bridge, but it's not coming up over the flight radar. And now just the light went out. What was that?
yeah, that happened like earlier this month. It was kind of crazy. It was like, what the hell? Now I don't know if it was a drone or anything like that, but D Robin, thank you for the stroll and picture share. Well, good night to you. Thank you for stopping by. I'm gonna be getting off myself. I was supposed to sign off like a few minutes ago, but I want to thank everybody for coming in. So just stay tuned for more live streams. One night I'll just throw. I usually a lot of times what I'll do is I'll throw like this window cam on, and I'll have the air traffic control on, and I just sit back and relax, and people come in and say hi and stuff like that. I do that too, but lately I've been doing some of these walks live and stuff. But today I did the Avenue O. That's what I just showed everybody, and then I did do Kings Highway also, but I'll throw that up on the channel in a couple of days. You guys will see that. But you can see how busy the air traffic is tonight outside my window. Look, there's another, it looks like another helicopter going by over there. That's a helicopter, that green and bright white light going from left to right. How often do I stream? Lately I've been doing about 1 to 2 a week. I generally come on around 7 o'clock. Now, I have to be honest, like the weather is getting, the weather's starting to get nice and I'm out more. So, and plus the sun is setting down later. So the time is going to change. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to stream when the sun is still up, like, cause I'm usually out. So I haven't really decided on a schedule as the spring and the summer come into full force, so I have to think about that. But there'll be times when I do come on and hang out like with this window cam and stuff, and I have like the air traffic control radio on. I'll usually do that like at 9 o'clock Eastern time in the US. Do I ever walk live? No, I don't. I don't really like to, because I just don't want people knowing where I am, I do. Plus, the other thing is I like to have very good quality. So most of the walks that I do, I record in 4K. So I'm able to, get the best quality out of it when I record them, and then I throw them up. But what I've been doing lately is I'll record a walk in 4K, and then I'll do it like this. I'll do it like this format. Well, I'll just play it and then do commentary and stuff like that. I used to do live walks many years ago on Justin TV. Very long time ago. With the really, I mean, that was when video, there weren't, you had to like put a laptop in your backpack with like a webcam and a big battery. Nowadays, everything is miniaturized, you could just use your cell phone on a gimbal and stuff like that. You like the view, Carol? I like it too. I don't even want to get off. Like, I want to just keep it on, but I started off the live stream doing a walk on Avenue O, and then if people come in and watch the replay, they're going to get confused. They're going to be like, well, this guy's going to stay on the camera for like another hour, but you could see, like, there goes another helicopter. Like, a lot of helicopter traffic tonight. You can see it right there crossing the bridge. You can see the red light. That's a helicopter right there. Enjoyed the live. We're looking forward to your next one. Have a good rest of the week. You too, Rose. Thank you, Rose. Thanks for popping in. We'll definitely do more. One day I'll just do a Q&A stream. I'll let people ask me questions. And Elisa's been asking me some questions, so kind of doing like a Q&A right now with Lisa. Oh, there goes another helicopter. Look at this. I wonder what's going on tonight. We've seen about 4 or 5 helicopters pass by, like in a span of like 10, 15 minutes. Kind of crazy. My window is like right here, so the view that you're looking at is like right next to me. So. All right, everyone, I'm definitely getting off. I know this time I'm telling the truth. So I'm going to bounce. So I hope everyone has a good night. I will catch you all again on the next live stream. And then, of course, when I upload my next walk, which will be like Kings Highway. But I'll catch you guys again. What is it? Today is what? Tuesday? So I'll probably be on again towards the end of the week. Maybe Thursday night. Maybe I'll just jump on Thursday night and just have the window cam on or something like that. The thing is, if I just come on and throw the window cam on with like, you know, the air traffic control, people tend not to chat that much. But if you come in and I'm on, just say hello and I'll talk. But a lot of times people come in just to listen to the air traffic control and stuff. But I will chat with people. But I remember the last air traffic control live stream I did, like everyone was just listening to the air traffic towers. Yeah, that's live. That is live right now. That is very live. That's as live as you're going to get. That is exactly what I am seeing when I look out my window. And the cool thing is, like, in the summertime, this is where the storms come from. The storms come from this direction. But I would imagine, like, if there's like some thunderstorms, I'm gonna have to put the camera behind the window. The camera is actually outside right now. That's why it's such a clear view. But if it's raining, I gotta put the camera inside because I don't want, you know, I obviously don't want the camera to burn out, to short out from water damage or anything like that. All right, everyone. I will catch you all on the next live stream. I'll see you all out there. I hope everyone has a great night. It is time for me to jump out of here. I appreciate everybody that came by. And I will catch you all again in a few days. So take care, everyone. Have a good night. And bye-bye.